2, 3.
Teamwork!
Well, when we're playing with them in like gym or something.
Oh yeah, we play basketball with them in gym. And it's not boys versus girls, but like they rarely pass to us. They sometimes do, but like
It always ends up being also girls with like the loser boys against all the popular boys. So it's basically like you're never chosen for like the boys teams, and like always like the last pick. Like Sina's really good at football, so like but like
other girls who are playing football. And like also when I first started playing football in gym, like I would always get picked last and no one would pass to me.
I think that male athletics, and especially our school, have more funding and more leeway and a bigger advantage than us.
But I would say like in the school culture, it's different to be like a girl person who plays basketball than it is to be like a male athlete, because it's a more part of your identity and more part of how popular you are if you're like yeah.
There's like more emphasis on like boys games and stuff. Like people are like, oh, come to the boys basketball game, and it's like more amped up.
Part of the interest is because the boys like make derogatory comments about girls or general.
And they're like always in
attitude.
charge.
Yeah.
So and they're always the captains. I mean, like a couple times that they've offered for me to be captain, but like we feel like they're in charge.
I think like in general, like in history, probably the guys' games got like more emphasis, and there wasn't like girls' teams as much.
Because people expect the boys' teams to be like the games to be more interesting.
Yeah.
Faster and
Faster like that, which is not true.
Yes. Hi, Maria, your turn.
Okay, so over here, I have a question.
Yeah.
What is this?
I honestly feel that the bias at all between teachers and students is something that is really an unconscious effort is made for there not to be a bias. But I do hear of people sometimes feeling that way. As a mother of 2 daughters, I feel like and being a woman myself, can sometimes relate to the issues that my female students have more. But I think I'm able to balance it enough that it's not a bias, or I'm not holding anything against my male students. And I think as teachers that we're trained not to have it, but I have also heard students who do feel that way and feel that they may have a teacher who may be a female teacher who are easier on the male students, or vice versa.
In our STEM classes, the girls are just as aggressive as the males, because I typically teach an AP chemistry class, and in that class is 50-50. Sometimes I even have more girls in the class than boys, and they don't feel any kind of intimidation or anything else of the sort. They are just as motivated. They really seemed engaged in their content, and most times they're step in step with the boys. In my underclassmen classes, because everybody has to take science, it's roughly mostly the boys in those underclassmen classes who push further ahead than the girls.
Well, due to the collaborative nature of singing or playing in any sort of ensemble, it's super necessary to abandon traditional gender roles and other forms of hierarchy in order to truly collaborate and work together to create something as one unit, rather than something with stratifications that causes inequality in a group.
So to speak to gender disparities in the classroom, we do see them from time to time when the male students seem to have more control or dominance in getting their points across or saying what they want to say, whereas a female might hold her position and defer to a male. We still see a little bit of that. What needs to happen is we need to give equity to the speakers in the room, and sometimes that means specifically calling out young women to speak and asking others to hold their opinions.
And while I don't necessarily see the disparity within conversations and dialogue in our classroom, where I do see it is in what we teach, specifically in the literature curriculum and the English. So we have taken steps towards rewriting the curriculum to be more culturally sensitive, culture to include gender disparity and give some equity to, well, more than just male characters, more than just male authors, male heroes, really incorporate strong female characters into what it is that the students are exposed to cross-culturally. We teach world literature specifically, so really incorporating a global view of gender, culture, diversity across the board.
I think it's important to be a woman in Highland Park because if our town is going to be so progressive and so inclusive, then we need to stand up for all women as well as be a positive female role model for others.
Being around Highland Park, I feel as it's like it's a relatively like open place to live. Like everybody, I feel like everybody treats everybody equally. But of course, there are those certain people who aren't going to do that. Like I feel like a lot of the boys here feel as if they can talk to us any type of way or disrespect us. I've experienced that a lot, especially in English class, which is just like a particular example. In English class, when we're like doing debates and things, they feel as if they can interrupt you, but because you know you're a girl and everything. But I feel like that's kind of the way boys were brought up. They were brought up this way, like they're raised to think that they're better than us, and that can just like disrespect us any type of way.
Well, often women are like characterized as what they wear. So if you wear something that's like inappropriate or something, you're deemed that your personality is like that. And if you're wearing something that's very like protecting and like covering, then you're often like labeled as the opposite.
Oh yeah, like I've received a lot of disrespect simply because I was black and because I was a woman. So like being both, how do I say this? Both groups are technically minorities. So I tend to receive a lot more disrespect than someone who was a woman and isn't of color, or like a man who was black or something like that. But being in Highland Park, I definitely received a lot of disrespect from people just because I was black. Especially when I first came to the school, because people saw it as okay to kind of test me to see if I was going to react.
So feminism to me means the basic equality of everybody, and a lot of people think that feminism is like bringing girls higher than boys, but in reality, it's just promoting the equality of men and women. If you look up the definition, that's basically what it will be.
Feminism is equality for like everyone, like gender and sexuality and race and religion and stuff.
Feminism is basically when we all like, instead of bashing down on each other, like girls just help each other, lift each other's emotions up, like, you know, instead of saying, oh, this girl's ugly, you know, it's like, no, she's beautiful, everybody's beautiful in her own way. Feminism is like everybody standing against hate.
Just being empowered as a woman, that I'm entitled to the same opportunities as a man, and I should be getting the should be on the same pay scale as a man, and I should be able to not have to be put into these old gender roles that like our grandparents and our parents have kind of went into. You know, if I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom, then I don't have to be. But if I do want to be a stay-at-home mom, then I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom. It's whatever I feel like doing and being empowered to do that without fitting into any stereotype of what I should be as a woman.
Being a boss.
Being smart.
Being strong. Being powerful.
Strong.
Creative.
Independent.
Great. Inspiring.
A strong, confident woman.
Athletic.
Brave.
Intelligent. Empowering.
Intuitive.
Artistic.
Daring.
Cool.
Groundbreaking.
Exceptional.
Beautiful.
Important.
Leaders.
Unique. Tough. Smart.
Confident.
Musical. Intelligent.
Amazing!